Hi everyone, this is me Jasneet Kaur. Welcome back to my channel. Before starting, if you have not subscribed to my channel till now, kindly do it and hit the bell icon to receive notifications of my next uploads. In today's video, we will be continuing with the second part of chapter 5th, which is fabric around us. For the first part, click on the top right corner of your screens. Briefly, if I recapitulate what we have covered in the first part of this chapter, we have discussed definition of yarns, fibers, textile products, finishing, introduction to fiber properties and classification of textile fibers. Now, in this video, we will start with understanding some important fibers and their properties. You can take a look on the names of the fibers which we will be discussing today. Let's begin with cotton. Cotton fiber is widely used fiber amongst rest of the fibers due to its amazing chemical and physical properties. Its usage can be seen in regular wears, upholstery, apron, dusters, mops, gloves and much more. Cotton is obtained from the seed pod of cotton plant. Each seed has a large number of hair attached to it. When the seed ripen, the pod bursts open. The seeds are separated from the fibers by a process called ginning. Earlier, this process used to be done with hands, but now for higher production, manufacturers use an automated machine called cotton ginning machine. Cotton is natural cellulosic fiber and as it is short in length, it is considered staple fiber. Means length of cotton fiber is somewhere 1 centimeter to 5 centimeter. Due to its shortened length, the yarn made from cotton fiber or the fabric manufactured from cotton fiber are dull in appearance and rough in texture. It is heavier than most of other fabrics as well as it is observed that cotton has good moisture absorbency and it also dries easily. Thus, it is considered best as summer wears. It can be mixed with fabrics like muslin, cambric, poplin, denim, etc. Now, after cotton, let's take a look at the properties of linen. Today, linen is used to make clothing, curtains, tablecloths, pillows, rugs, and much more. Linen is obtained from the flax plants. You can see the process that how linen evolved. To obtain the fiber, stems are dipped in water for a long time. This process is called retting. After retting, linen fibers are collected and sent for spinning. It can be done through machines or through hand. Talking about its properties, this fiber is also cellulosic and staple, size ranging from 1 inch to 6 inches. It is more longer and finer than the cotton. It absorbs moisture faster than the cotton, therefore, it is comfortable to wear specifically during summers. Linen fibers or we can say natural fibers generally does not absorb dyes very easily. Therefore, color produced are not so bright. Linen is generally used less than cotton as it requires longer processing time. I hope students you all are alert and paying attention to the content. With this belief, I would like to move ahead with our one of the most favorite fiber, that is wool. You all must have studied this in your previous classes that how wool is obtained from animal sources like sheep, goat, camel, yak, alpaca, rabbits. The process of obtaining wool works like removal of hair from the animal, called shearing, while shearing efforts are made to keep the hair in one piece, which is called fleece. After this, the process of removing dirt is followed by carding. Carding helps in combing the loose wool fibers into a sheet. After that, bunch of wool fibers are twisted into a rope called silver. Silver is stretched and twisted into a thin yarn. That yarn is further converted into ball of wool. You can also refer to this simplified flow chart. Process in both the charts are same. Talking about the properties of wool, it falls in the category of natural protein fiber. Its length varies from 4 cm to 40 cm. Can be coarse or fine depending upon the breed and the body part of the animal. Compared to the other fibers, wool has low strength but has good flexibility. It is not considered as good water absorbent, hence takes time to get completely wet. Wool can be easily blended with natural and man-made fibers. Now after wool, let's study about most elegant and one of my favorite, silk. The story behind the discovery of silk is very interesting. It is believed, according to Chinese records, the wife of Yellow Emperor found the secret after a silkworm cocoon fell into her cup of tea accidentally. And as she pulled it out, she realized that she could unravel its exquisite thread. Of course, there would be many other stories attached to it. Let's move ahead with understanding the process of obtaining silk. So, as per the process, at the first stage, moth lays egg, then eggs hatch, giving larva or silkworm. Afterwards, silkworm eats mulberry leaves and grow in size. During this phase, they shed their skin 4 times. Shedding of skin is called molding. In the fourth stage, silkworms begin spinning their cocoons. And in the last stage, silk farmers collect cocoons. Filaments are obtained from cocoons by the processes called reeling. Silk fibers are then spun into silk threads. Talking about its properties, it is natural protein fiber, and as it is natural fiber, its natural color is off-white or cream. It is naturally obtained filament fiber which have fine, smooth and lustrous texture. It contains natural gum which gives it a crisp texture. Due to its properties, it is considered as one of the strongest fiber used in making fabric. Now, after discussing all natural fiber, let's talk about man-made fibers. Starting with rayon. It is manufactured fiber as it is machine manufactured, so size and shape can be controlled. Its properties are similar to cotton but has lower strength and durability. It even has an appearance looks like silk. Next manufactured fiber is nylon. Nylon was the first synthetic fiber totally made from chemicals. Before getting into textile industry, it was introduced as bristles for toothbrush. The first fabric of nylon was socks and stockings. Afterwards, it was used in all sort of fabrics like undergarments, swimsuits, gloves, etc. It is usually smooth and shiny with uniform diameter. It has good strength and abrasion resistance with great elasticity. Another man-made fiber is polyester, also referred as terylene or terene. Polyester fiber has uniform diameter, smooth surface and rod-like appearance. As it is man-made, so can be manufactured as per the requirements. This fiber is not very good water absorbent, thus very uncomfortable to wear for long hours, specifically during summers. Next man-made fiber is acrylic. Just like rest of the man-made fibers, the length, diameter, luster and fineness can be controlled by the manufacturer. It is not very strong fiber. Majorly, it is used as a substitute for wool. So next time in winters when your woolens will not give you enough warmth, then do check out their care labels. You will find presence of acrylic fiber. The last one for today is elastomeric fibers. Apart from rest of the fibers which we have covered so far, there are few less known ones. These are elastomeric fibers, also known as rubber-like substances, which can be mixed with any of the fiber which has less elasticity. Alright students, this is it for today. I hope properties of all these fibers are clear to you. One easy way you can remember these fibers is we have two categories of fibers, natural and man-made. Natural is the one which nature gives us in some or the other form like cotton and linen from plants, wool from animals, silk from silkworm. On the other hand, man-made are the ones which humans themselves create with the help of machinery or through the use of chemicals. It includes like rayon, nylon, polyester and acrylic. Now as you know, now it is man-made, so its basic properties like size, shape, luster or shine can be modified as per the need. Apart from natural and man-made, there is another category which is the third type, blended fiber, means mixing. So in this type of fiber, natural and man-made fibers are mixed together. For example, silk is mixed with polyester. So we found terry silk. Similarly, if we mix polyester with wool, we will get terry wool. I hope today's lecture must have added value in your existing knowledge. For more such valuable content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button. Also, do give the feedback about this video in the comment section below. I'll see you soon with my next video. Till then, bye bye and take care.